These shrimp lettuce wraps are the perfect weeknight dinner option because they're so quick to make and they have a ton of healthy vegetables. I'm Justin from Cooking with Coit. I specialize in clean comfort cooking. And remember, if you love this recipe, make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons. Let's get started. All right, guys, let's first go over the ingredients you're gonna need for this recipe. First up, you're gonna need some olive oil. You're also gonna need some cumin, bell pepper, carrot, ginger, garlic, red pepper. It could be a Fresno pepper or any other kind of small red pepper that you can find at your grocery store. Some onion, zucchini. Of course, you're gonna need some shrimp, Boston lettuce or butter lettuce that we're gonna use as the lettuce wraps themselves, rice vinegar, soy sauce, peanut butter, and honey. First thing we're gonna do is prepare our sauce. Now, this is gonna be a Thai-inspired peanut sauce, and I highly suggest that you guys don't skip the sauce because although these shrimp lettuce wraps on their own are very good, you definitely need the sauce. It really takes it to the next level on flavor. We're gonna mince up 1 clove of garlic. Next, we're gonna move on to a half a teaspoon of ginger, and we're also gonna mince this. Next, we're gonna add 4 tablespoons of peanut butter into this small mixing bowl. And this is smooth peanut butter. You maybe could use chunky, but honestly, I think smooth is just gonna work better for this recipe. I love peanut butter so much. I've been eating it my entire life. I used to actually in school. I'd asked my mom to make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day. I think I had that for I don't know, 5 years straight or something. I just love peanut butter so much. Next, we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. You know, some of you guys might not realize how well soy sauce and peanut butter go together. And honestly, the first time I made it, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know if these two things are gonna mix well, but they really do. You're totally gonna see. Next, we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of rice vinegar. And rice vinegar is one of those ingredients that you typically don't use a lot in American cuisine, but in Thai food, I definitely have used it a bunch. Now we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of honey, and honey's gonna give this sauce just a little bit of sweetness. Now we're gonna add our minced ginger and garlic into the bowl. Let's give this a quick whisk, and then we're gonna set the sauce aside. And every peanut butter is a little bit different. So if you're finding that your sauce is just maybe a little thick, like this one's kind of turning out to be just a little thick, what I think I'm gonna do is add a little bit of water to loosen it up and make it a little bit more runny. All right, so this is exactly how it should look. Come on, get a shot of that. And here's the consistency. Really beautiful, super creamy, but still, saucy and a little runny. And guys, like I said before, don't be afraid of adding a little bit of water to the sauce if you're finding that it's a little too thick. You really wanna make sure that it has a nice kind of smooth sauce-like texture to it. Now we're gonna move on to preparing our vegetables. First, we're gonna start with 1 zucchini. And with all these vegetables, we really wanna cut them nice and thin for this recipe. What I'm gonna do with this zucchini and with the rest of these vegetables also is just cut off 1 little flat end here, and I'll show you why in a second. So remove 1 super thin, try not to take off too much of the veggie, and then flip it like this. And what you're gonna notice by cutting 1 little flat edge to the vegetable is that now we have a solid base to work with. So now I'm gonna cut these into strips. These are gonna be kind of nice and thick strips. I guess you could also call these sheets. And then now you're gonna stack the sheets on top of each other. I'm gonna cut these in half. And then now I'm gonna cut off my really thin slices just like this. And what you're hoping to come away with is really a matchstick size sliced veggie. Now we're gonna move on to cutting our carrot, and we're gonna do it exactly the same way that we cut our zucchini. Now we're gonna move on to cutting our bell pepper. Again, exact same way that we did the zucchini and the carrot. We're gonna do nice thin slices. Now, when you're cutting a bell pepper, I do a slightly different technique. I first basically cut off each side. So I cut off the 4 sides of the bell pepper. So what you're gonna be left with is something like this. And then I make sure to flip it over like this so I have a nice stable surface to work with. And then I just make my slices from there. One thing I just forgot to do is cut it in half. So I'm gonna turn these and then cut it just like this so the pieces aren't too long. You guys see the cat? That's June. She is a rescue. She is Russian blue and British short hair. 2 things you should know about June. Number 1, she's very nice. And number 2, she's more like a dog than she is like a cat. She actually will play fetch, which is kind of crazy. I've never seen a cat do that before. Now we're gonna move on to mincing 2 cloves of garlic. Now we're gonna mince 1 teaspoon of ginger. And honestly, guys, this recipe has probably more ingredients than any of my recipes usually do, but I promise you, all of this work is totally worth it in the end. Now we're gonna take this quarter of an onion and do really thin slices like we did the rest of the veggies. And the last ingredient we need to prep is a little bit of red chili pepper. This one is not called a Fresno pepper. I originally thought it was called a Fresno pepper, although you can use Fresno peppers in this recipe if you want and you have access to them. This one is called like a jalapeno. It sounded like jalapeno, but it was like with a P. I don't quite remember, but Fresno peppers totally work great if you can find those two. And we're gonna cut 1 teaspoon of this red chili pepper. All right, guys, our prep is over. Thank you for your patience. That does take a little while, but again, it's totally worth it. Now we're gonna move on to cooking our shrimp. One very quick tip that I wanna show you is that I always will pat my shrimp dry. And the reason why I wanna do that is because I'm trying to remove as much moisture as I can from the shrimp, and that's gonna help them really crisp up when they hit the pan. If you were cooking shrimp in like a soup or a really heavy sauce, there's absolutely no reason you need to try to get the water off of them because it's gonna be cooking in liquid anyway. But in this instance, when we want a nice crispy shrimp, definitely try to get as much of the water off as you can. All right, guys, let's add a little bit of olive oil to the pan. Now, I feel like there's this big controversy about should you use olive oil when you're cooking over high heat? A lot of people, and even myself, I used to say, no, you shouldn't. But recently I read an article where it totally said that was like a ton of misinformation and good olive oil can hold up at higher temperatures. I don't really know what to think, but I would love to know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. All right, let's add our shrimp. Now you really wanna try to give the shrimp a little bit of breathing room in the pan. That's also gonna help them crisp up a little bit. If they're too crowded, what's gonna happen is that they're gonna kind of steam more than they're going to brown. We're gonna cook these shrimp for about 2 minutes per side. We're about halfway through, so I'm gonna give these guys a flip. One way to know that shrimp are ready to be flipped and almost done cooking is that they curl naturally. So once you start seeing them curl, just give them a quick flip. One other note that I have for you guys about buying shrimp and using shrimp, I always like to buy jumbo shrimp, as big a shrimp as I can find, because I feel like it gives you a little bit more time to cook them. The smaller shrimp, and honestly, these ones are a little bit on the border of being too small, I think the small ones just cook too fast and you're more likely to overcook them and to dry them out. All right, guys, these shrimp are totally cooked through, so now I'm gonna set them aside. If you've got a little bit of residual, I don't wanna say shrimp water, but that's kind of like what's left. It sounds kind of gross. If you've got a little shrimp water, just mop it up with a little bit of a paper towel. I like to just kind of clean the pan out in between sauteing. But be really careful. If you're not comfortable using a paper towel in a hot pan like this, please do not do it. I'm pretty good at not burning myself, but guys, if you're at all nervous, just grab another pan and make your life a little safer. All right, now we're gonna move on to sauteing our veggies. So let's add a little bit more oil back into the pan. And now we're gonna add our carrots, bell pepper, zucchini, and onion all together. The reason why we can add all these veggies together at the same time is because of 2 reasons. So number 1, I cut them very consistently thin, so they're all gonna cook around the same amount of time. And number 2, all of these vegetables that we're using here have pretty much the same type of toughness, if you will. It's like they're a little bit harder. Like a zucchini and a carrot are actually quite similar if you press on them. And what that means to me is that they're gonna cook nice and evenly all at the same time. So now you wanna cook these vegetables until they're just about softened. I like to leave these just a little al dente too, so don't cook them too long. All right, guys, so I've been cooking these veggies for just about 2 minutes. They're nicely softened, so now I'm gonna add in back the garlic and ginger that we minced earlier. And I'm also gonna add in the red pepper that we sliced super thin. Let's give this a nice mix. It's amazing, I just dropped in the ginger and I don't even know if the ginger hit the pan, but already it's so aromatic and it smells so incredible. So we're gonna let this saute for just about 1 more minute. Oh, guys, geez, I completely forgot. I've gotta add in my cumin. So we're gonna add in a half a teaspoon of ground cumin and wait till you see what this does for the smell. It's gonna be incredible. It hits you so fast. This smells amazing. All right, guys, with the veggies done cooking, next we're gonna add our shrimp back in with the veggie mixture straight into the pan. And the goal of this is just to heat the shrimp back through and get the flavors all combined really nicely. So let's just give this a quick toss. You really only need to do this for just about a minute. You don't want to overcook the shrimp. Now we're gonna take this pot and we're gonna set it aside. All right guys, now we're gonna build these shrimp lettuce wraps. First thing you need to know is you really wanna find lettuce that makes a nice bowl type of shape. I actually found these at the store and they were called literally lettuce boats, which I've never actually seen before, but they were prepackaged, ready to go. That saved me a ton of time. But if you can't find those, you could use Boston lettuce or butter lettuce. Just try to find one that has a nice sort of bowl shape so that all the shrimp and veggies get nicely held together. So let's take our shrimp and veggie mixture and drop it right into one of these lettuce boats. All right guys, so now we're gonna add the sauce back on top of these lettuce wraps. Let's make sure that we wake up the sauce a little bit because it's probably been sitting there for about 20 minutes while we were cooking. So once it's woken up, let's grab a little bit and put it right on the top here. And you guys are gonna see just how much flavor this peanut sauce gives these lettuce wraps. And finally, we're gonna finish them off with a little bit of sliced green onion. All right, these lettuce wraps look so incredible. I cannot wait to give them a try, but before I do, if you've loved this recipe and you wanna see more just like it, check out my healthy recipes playlist. Okay, let's give these a try. Wow, these shrimp lettuce wraps come out so good. They're so easy to make and they've got a ton of flavor. Guys, I hope you give them a try. See you in the next video.